Happy Monday evening, Saving Throw audience. My name is Michael Holmes, and I will be your game master tonight. Welcome to the very first episode of Mutants and Masterminds, Shadows of the Mirror Men. I'm incredibly excited to be here tonight. This is kicking off a 3-episode mini-campaign. So to start with, I would like to go around the table and introduce our lovely players to our lovely audience, starting with...
Hey, I am Jen Kretchmer. I am Dreamwisp on Twitter. Oh, hello. Hello. Sorry. I am Dreamwisp on Twitter. I am a producer, writer, actor, all the fun things.
Omni-tool, really.
Yeah,
That's
my business card says Slasher of Gordian Knots. So
there you go.
And tonight I'm a superhero.
Cool. And we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
So, and to your right is...
Hi, I'm Stephen Pope. I'm a regular here at Saving Throw, and this is actually the first time I've been on this side of the DM screen for an extended period of time, so I'm really excited about this.
I'll try to do right by you.
I'm sure you will.
And to my right is...
Hi, I'm Jody Houser. I write comic books. I've been here a couple times, but not in a while, so glad to be back.
Fantastic. And last, but certainly not least...
Hi, I'm Eric. I'm here all the time. I sleep on that couch over there.
The ubiquitous Eric. No, we're very glad to have you here. So, some housekeeping things right up front. How do you play Mutants and Masterminds? It's very, very simple. D20 plus mod versus difficulty class equals fun. And honestly, that's all you need to know. There's more nuances to it, obviously. And we'll get into that as we play. Very important thing up front are 2 mechanics that allow the players to get a little extra in the game. There is extra effort, which allows you to push yourself past your normal limits. We've got a handout here that goes into some of the details about what you can do with extra effort. You can gain another standard action, so you can punch someone twice if you want. You can get a bonus to an action, you can increase your power, you can increase your speed, you can do a power stunt. So maybe you bounce a bolt of radioactive plasma against a subway wall or something.
There you go.
Not telling you what to do, I'm just saying it's an option. You gain resistance against harmful effects. You can retry something, you can increase your strength, but because it is extra effort, each time you push yourself past your limits, you get a condition, which inflicts a penalty to further actions. And you can do this a total of 3 times. If you push yourself with extra effort 3 times, you're knocked out. And you know, maybe avoid that. There's also hero points, which allow you to edit a scene. So you can grant your hero an advantage by adding or changing certain details. I have a veto power over that. So if you decide that Galactus appears and devours your enemy, I'm probably going to say no. But we'll see. Heroic feat. You can gain the benefits of 1 rank of an advantage you don't already have until the end of your next turn. And advantages are somewhere between skills and powers. They're like a perk, like a defensive roll, which adds to your ability to evade harmful attacks, or maybe call upon a contact that you forgot you had, something like that. You can improve your roll by basically rolling twice, taking the better of the 2 rolls, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. And you each start the game with 1 hero point. One of the things that adds to your characters are your motivations and your complications, and those are what cause you to do what you do. So in Jennifer's case, she's kind of a glory hound, we determined. In Jody's case, she's really at the core for seeking approval from everybody. So during the course of the game, if these aspects of your character come into play, you have the potential to get more hero points. So it's really a bonus for role-playing better. We'll get into the nuts and bolts of combat and skill checks when they're appropriate, but to begin, let's go around the table and introduce our characters now, starting with Eric.
Tonight I am playing Charles McDonald, but he likes to go by Chuck. He is a certified public accountant who, through an accident, it now has near impervious skin and super strength, but he's still just a tiny little accountant man.
Love it.
I am playing Skyler Smith. I'm a social media influencer and brand spokesperson, and I'm very good at my job.
She is at that.
I am King Z. I was once a 80-foot tall kaiju. Now I'm a man. I hate it.
And I am Nick Minos. I am the creator of a biometric tech social media platform. And I realized that I just don't have enough time in the day, so I figured out a way to fix that.
Love it. So, I don't want you to meet in a pub. So we've established before the game started that you all know each other. So let's just talk about that for a few minutes. I know that we'd kind of talked about you two knowing each other a little bit. Do you want to go into a little more detail?
Well, I think both of you, right, are my employees. So we hired Skyler because my company Icarus needed a face for the brand to make us hip with the teens. We were doing okay with the adults, but not as well with the youth market, and so we decided we would tap into that.
Basically made Icarus cool.
We were cool before then, but
Not enough.
Yeah, but she boosted you.
she definitely gave us a boost.
Yeah.
And we love our employees. And Chuck, you know, we definitely need accounting.
It's important. I mean, if your books aren't right, then you don't know like where your company is, where it's going, what growth you can expect or not expect. These are all very important things.
And like most startups, you're probably hemorrhaging money and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
I doubt that.
Okay.
I'm
Chuck,
just
are-
if we
are
cut
we?
back on the free snacks, I'm just saying a lot of overhead goes in snacks.
If you touch my snacks, I will behead you.
And Kingsley, how do you fall into this Venn diagram here? BSB Care, SF Giants 49er. Thank you so much for tuning
Thank you
in.
very much. Well, I'm going to go ahead and I think Icarus might be the reason I was brought to this dimension in the first place. It might have been an accident on your part, but you might have also been the people who turned me human, so... How's that sound?
It's possible. I mean, some of the research we're doing, not that we would ever collect data on our members, but I am interested in the science of dimensional travel. That's something that I studied in school as part of my scientific education.
Yes, I'm still trying to figure out how you turned me and my son into these fleshy, tiny, weak things. But it's fine. I'm fine with my current position.
I don't. If that happened, I don't think it was intentional.
And we'll get into that as the game progresses. We are using the lovely Mutants Masterminds official Game Master screen. We're using the Basic Heroes Handbook because my in-laws were very nice to me for Christmas, and it's part of what inspired me to run this game. So thanks, Green Ronin. Thanks, Steve Kenson, for creating the world's greatest superhero role-playing game. And let's jump into it. So our campaign takes place in 2019 Los Angeles, which is something we can all identify with here.
Can't relate.
Yeah, well, I got nothing. It is January 1st, 2019. They say that there's no seasons in California, but this day especially is kind of right on the cusp of winter as it slowly segues into spring. In the early morning, there was a crisp chill in the air that kind of had an undercurrent of warmth that actually made the rest of the day very, very lovely. And it is the perfect day for a book signing at the Last Bookstore downtown on 5th and Spring. For blocks and blocks on end, the streets are impassable to traffic because the throngs of people waiting for this book signing are immense. And the author is Dr. Ulysses Armstrong, who during his superheroic career was briefly known as Patient Zero. And it is his memoir. He is almost 100 years old, and people have pushed him for decades to write down his thoughts. And he's resisted, but he finally decided that it was time to tell the world about his experiences, warts and all. So you all have VIP access to the front of the line, but you're still waiting in line. As you see a number of supers fly overhead, streaks of flame overarching downtown. You see a couple of people who think they're clever trying to teleport in the store and are met with a protective magic field at the front of the store, kind of like birds hitting glass. And as they do, it expands in this shimmer of runes. There's a couple of nondescript, vaguely robotic-looking bodyguards out front, and the crowd is very eager, but they're well behaved. Everybody is kind of speaking in murmurs, kind of anticipating what's coming next. So there you are.
I'm going to go ahead and say King Z is here, but he's not here for himself. He has no interest in this man. He has no interest in humanity in general. Sadly, Prince Z definitely does.
Is he there?
Oh, absolutely.
And who is Prince Z?
Prince Z is King Z's son. He prefers to go by Zach Prince now, and he loves being a human. He's embracing it. He's going to a high school, and it is baffling. Just baffling.
Now, before the show, you described to us what King Z looks like, but I don't think you have to the audience.
Ah, yes. So King Z is that middle ground between The Rock.
Crude Imposter.
Crude Imposter Nightbright. Thank you for the
also,
resub.
Ruworks, hi.
And thank you for the tip, Ruworks. So he is the midpoint between The Rock and Toshio Mifune from, Yojimbo. So just imagine a really, really buff, kinda sexy BDE guy who just green hair, kinda scaly, yellow eyes, does not look happy.
I don't know what BDE means.
Big dick energy.
Oh, well. One learns something new every day.
Oh, that's so 2018.
Yes, well, I'm an old
It's a
man.
month. I haven't picked up the new memes yet.
Love it. So Prince Z is there, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, come on, Dad. Why aren't you enjoying this? Do you know what this is? This is a historic
I have
moment.
no idea and I have no interest.
Oh, come on. Why do you gotta ruin all the fun?
I'm not
Sorry, I should
ruining-
have asked if that was okay.
That's fine. I am not ruining the fun. I am here. I am present. I am not lighting anything on fire. This is fine. I am present.
What? You have a history of lighting things on fire. It's
Yes.
just historical fact, Dad.
I do not like this term, Dad. I do not like this language. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. We're fine.
Whatever. Scroll.
Who gave you that?
I got it at T-Mobile?
What is a T-Mobile?
And then he goes and teens out. And you get a like on your
How'd he
most
get a
recent
cell phone?
post
Who the
on
hell gave him a cell
Instagram,
phone?
waiting in line for the Dr. Ulysses Armstrong signing.
Yeah, I'm still.
Oh, she doesn't wait in line.
This is a special
No,
event.
I'm posing in line. And I have the phone sort of hovering in the air, and I'm just like sort of moving it around, taking about 50
Well, you gotta
different
get your right
shots to get
angle.
the right angle.
Yeah, everybody's trying to kind of get in the background.
Yeah, I'm trying to get
photobomb
like
you.
the length of the line in the background, but me looking like I'm right in the front, even though I'm not quite right in the front, but you know.
And there's a charmingly awkward young man standing next to you in kind of a stylized lab coat with black and white Chuck Taylors pushing his horn rims up. I mean, this is incredible, right?
Oh, squeeze in.
Oh, hi. Am I doing it right? I don't know.
Yeah, perfect.
And that is your significant other, Kinsey Beck, host of Kinsey Beck Science Boy on YouTube, which started out as a show geared more towards kids, but has kind of become a pop culture phenomenon akin to, I don't know, Bill Nye the Science Guy, but for millennials, for the kids.
Yeah, we totally met at a YouTube convention. Super
VidCon?
Yeah. VidCon, yeah. I know my stuff, sure. But yeah, so, and he, he's like doing good stuff with his popularity, and I'm just like so inspired by that,
Yeah, but I don't have like the eye for pop culture like you do. I don't know. I feel like in another year, nobody's going to remember me.
Oh, sweetie, I'll make sure they remember you.
Thanks. And what are we up to, Nico?
Nick is checking her phone to see kind of how many people are around, sort of checking. I'm checking the stats of what's going on nearby. And I'm also sending some of my staff who's here to try and get Skyler and Kinsey through and into the VIP section.
I want you to roll me a science check. So it's a D20 plus your ranks in science. I'm guessing you've got some sort of proprietary app on your phone to track Icarus users? Okay.
Absolutely. Whew! That's not so good. That would be an 11.
Well, it's kind of hard to get a signal downtown sometimes, but you are getting some blips, and it seems like there's probably a couple hundred people around here who've got Icarus rigs.
Okay.
So, yeah, there's a lot of, pings that you're getting, and the crowd is numbering in the thousands, and then all of a sudden there's a hush. And then very slowly in the distance, like probably 9 or 10 blocks, you can see this crowd of people slowly parting. And in the middle, there's a lone figure. And you can tell from here, it's an African-American gentleman. As he gets closer, you can see he's wearing a white button-up shirt that's unbuttoned at the collar. He's wearing some fashionable jeans and Italian shoes. And he's walking with a quiet confidence. And he's shaking hands with people and waving and nodding as he walks. He's not saying anything. He's just politely greeting the crowd. And as he gets closer, it's unmistakable that this is Dr. Ulysses Armstrong, a.k.a. Patient Zero, played by Idris Elba, but more traditionally how we would picture Reed Richards.
I would watch the hell out of that.
Yeah, me too.
As he gets closer, the crowd parts, security steps forward, you can see the shimmer of the rune gate in front of the bookstore kind of fade away. Do you want to try to sneak in? Or do you want to wait your turn?
I would only try to sneak in if I could get Kinsey in with me.
Okay. Yeah. Roll me a... Well, you don't really have stealth or anything.
No.
Persuasion or something like that.
Presence?
That's on the other sheet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Persuasion. It's 16 plus 13, so
Yeah.
it's a 30.
Yeah, that's...
Or 29.
Okay, so there's a very beleaguered-looking middle-aged woman in kind of a Stevie Nicks kind of getup with these really ornate gold-rimmed glasses who is trying to size up the crowd, and she sees you, and she's like, "You're that girl, right?"
Oh, yeah, and you know what? I love your look. That outfit is amazing.
Oh, this? Thank you.
Yeah,
Oh
can we do a selfie?
Oh, oh my God! I'm doing a selfie with Skyler Smith.
Yeah.
What do I do? What do I do?
Yeah, just do it. Just be you. Just be you.
Is this good? I don't know.
That's perfect.
Oh, I can't believe you're here. I mean, I can believe you're here. I mean, do you want to come in?
Yeah, can Kinsey come with me? My boyfriend, science boy.
Oh, that kid.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, he's with you.
It really means more to him, I think, even than me.
Oh,
so,
yeah, for sure. So you all see her sneaking in. What are you doing right now, Chuck?
Why is she allowed in?
Well, pause real quick.
I mean, Chuck is just really fascinated with the story of this hero, being that he's very recently acquired these powers, and he's reading up anything he can on how to control.
On how to be a superhero.
He's like actually like reading it, and he's leaned his hands against the brick wall of it, and then he just without even realizing it actually crushes one of the bricks and goes, "Oh no, okay."
And you can see somebody kind of lean into the window of the rare book section of Last Bookstore going, sorry. So yeah, she is escorting you in quietly, and it's just you guys, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Do you want to try to get anybody else in?
No.
Okay, cool. So you see Skyler and Kinsey disappear into the store while Dr. Armstrong is coming up. And he's looking around and he looks at you and he's like, "May I shake your hand?"
Absolutely. Hello.
Hello. You're,
Nicola.
Icarus, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I read about you in Wired. It's a really well-written article.
I mean, it was, yeah, they did a really nice job.
I don't know what you're doing after this, but let's talk, if that's all right with you.
I mean, I'll have to make sure my schedule's clear. Yeah, I can make something.
I'm sure you can squeeze me in. If you excuse me, I gotta go talk to the people now. And as soon as he crosses the threshold of the door, both guards grow about 3 feet and expand about 3 feet, and in a very orderly fashion start bringing people in. You are brought in, and then you're brought in because you're relatively near the front. Prince Z literally runs into one of them. It doesn't even move, but he gets knocked on his ass.
I help him up.
All right, I'm sorry, Dad. I'm sorry.
It's
but
fine,
let's
son.
go check
I know
this
you were
out.
excited. Yes. We go.
And if you've never been to the Last Bookstore in downtown Los Angeles, you can Google it. If you've ever seen any picture on social media of somebody taking a picture of themselves in this ring of books, that's from the Last Bookstore. And it's got this great smell of old paper, and it's in this old bank building, and it
There's
fills
a
up.
surprising number of old D&D books.
I know,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But that's never been my experience when I've
Don't
gone
tell
there.
people.
Yeah.
Then we can't get them. No.
Shout out to my friend Katie who works there.
Nice. If you want Luther Strode graphic novels, that's the place for you. But all of the shelves and everything are pushed off to the side, and they've tried to make as much space as they can, which is no mean feat because it's actually a very small building. So as quickly as it fills up, there's still thousands of people outside who are just thrilled to be in the same neighborhood as Dr. Armstrong. Kind of a hipster guy in a black band t-shirt of a band you probably never heard of, hands Dr. Armstrong a bottle of water, and Dr. Armstrong's very grateful, taps him on the shoulder, and even though this guy has a very, very dense hipster vibe, you can tell that he is genuinely moved by that contact by Dr. Armstrong, and he takes the podium. In 12 years, I'll be 100 years old, and you'd think by this point in my life I've gotten used to talking in front of people, but I have to let you know, ladies and gentlemen, and all things in between, I'm a little nervous right now, so you'll have to pardon me. And the crowd laughs. What makes a hero? I have my own definition. You probably have your own definition too. One of the things that compelled me to write this book is that in a world that is continually and increasingly being beset by twilight, that I wanted to inspire others to be the light that shines through. And that might sound cheesy, but I am an old man, so you have to let me have this one, okay? And then he starts talking about his history as a hero. A lot of this is public record, but basically he was born in 1931. He was too young to fight in World War II, but he really wanted to. He was old enough for Korea, and he went over there as a medic. And after his time serving on the front lines, he went back to medical school and actually became a really brilliant cancer researcher in the age of segregation. In the late 60s, he was pioneering a brand new treatment for killing cancer before it even starts. But the main focus of his research was the Captain America analogy of this universe, General Victory, who at that point was very old himself and had very advanced cancer and was also very, very racist. And there's been many articles written about their interactions and how General Victory really didn't want this particular treatment. And he opposed it so much that it ultimately cost him his life. And as he's telling the story, you can see that the crowd gets a little more on edge because he's about to tell his superhero origin story. So basically, the crux of this treatment is that he allowed himself to die after a fashion, in that his body shut down. His cells stopped growing. They didn't age, but they didn't continue to exist in the same way that you and I do. So basically, he caused his body to go into this neutral state, but because of significant mental discipline that he had honed over the years, he was able to control his cells, make them denser, make them lighter, make them super tough. And for a while, he did enjoy a brief career as a costume adventurer, but then he returned to science and a social activist and everything and became the Dr. Ulysses Armstrong that we know now. And he just continues to tell some very charming anecdotes about his time with various celebrities. And, I traveled to, the seventh dimension. If you've never been there, it's lovely this time of year, I assure you. Yes, you in the back, I heard you enjoyed that one. Well, buy the book and you can read all about it.
I looked down, Prince. We lived there.
And then, after about an hour of speaking, he politely nods to the audience and says, "Thank you. I'm going to go use the restroom for a moment, and then I will be with all of you very lovely people." And the crowd starts to disperse.
Everything you wanted him to be.
Yeah. Are you kidding? That's Dr. Armstrong, Dad.
I gathered, yes.
Whatever. Gemethyst.
Jennifer, thank you.
Oh, taste.
He seems, noble in his pursuits. I respect that.
And the middle-aged lady who let you in comes up to you and she's like, would you like to be right near the front?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He's just so inspiring, isn't he?
I can get you a chair if you'd like.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Do you want anything to drink?
Do you have any, like, sparkling water?
We have coconut LaCroix. Is that okay?
Oh, it's the worst.
2019 Los Angeles. Live it.
I'll take tap over that,
Okay.
honestly.
Okay.
Who is the person who's talking to Skylar?
She appears to work for the bookstore.
Is she pinging in my app?
I don't know. Roll for it.
Science?
Yes.
Oh, nat 20.
She is indeed. She is lighting up like a beacon.
Okay. Do I have any data on her?
You can tell that there's some sort of telepathy there. You know, she is, for all intents and purposes, a normal human woman. You know, she's got a little bit of hypertension. She hasn't eaten all day. Her blood pressure is a little raised, but she seems like she's on the level.
Okay.
And then a moment later...
I'm going to keep an eye on her.
Okay, cool. Dr. Armstrong comes out and sits down and starts signing people's books. I know you.
Oh, you do? Really?
Uh-huh. And I know him, too, and he points at Skylar. Sorry, Kinsey. You're the science kid, right? Yeah. I'm not going to have two NPCs talk to each other. That's too much. But they have a little back and forth, and it's like you don't even exist for a moment.
I'm kind of okay with that.
Okay.
I like that he has found his like own type of fame. You know, I'm just so proud of him.
But there's people in line who are clearly pointing at you and trying to get pictures with you and Dr. Armstrong in the background.
I'm just like turning around, like.
And yeah, so eventually you get a chance to talk to Dr. Armstrong. Talk to Dr. Armstrong. You first.
I hand him the book. I don't really make much of an expression. I just kind of, this is for the prince. This is for the prince. This is for the prince. And eventually I feel awkward enough. So the seventh dimension.
And he tells you a filthy limerick in the native language of the seventh dimension.
I respect that.
I mean, my accent's terrible.
Oh,
you have to excuse
atrocious.
me.
It was damn near incomprehensible, but I respect it. I respect the attempt.
It's been a while since I've seen anybody from the seventh dimension. What brings you to Los Angeles?
That's something I would like to know. Cruel gods is what I've settled on right now. But yes, you were actually in my kingdom for a while there. I was literally the king of the seventh dimension. This is, and I kind of push Prince forward a little bit. This is the prince of the seventh dimension, though he now prefers to be called Zach.
Zach, Dr. Ulysses Armstrong. Pleasure to meet you, sir. You used to be taller, didn't you?
I'm the one who leveled Santa Clarita.
All right. As long as you save Six Flags, that's all that matters to me.
I've been told of this Kingdom of the Flags. I apparently need to go there one day, though I do not know why.
Fair enough.
And apparently I destroyed nothing of value, so I don't feel too bad about it.
Do they still call... No, Valencia was Awesome Town, right? That was their ad campaign a couple years ago?
It
doesn't matter. Neither here nor there.
That's a bad
I think that's where they filmed CSI over there.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, hold on. Pause, please. Crude Imposter Nightbright sends their reroll to Jody.
Ooh,
so there you go.
okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Dom. Sorry, I forgot about sub rerolls potentially coming in, so do check this after some subs. I will do that. I will do that for you, Dom Zook. Estelle Castillo sends one reroll to Eric and one to Jennifer.
Thank you.
And Rueworks gives one to Steven.
Aw, yay.
All right. Now we're...
Are these different from hero points, by the way?
Yeah, those are only rerolls.
Okay.
The hero points will allow you to do anything that's on this sheet here. And
Got
we will get to those. I promise you and them that we will get to something that requires hero points by the end of the game.
Yay.
I'm not sure what you're doing later, but I'm having a little soiree back at my place, and he hands you a very thin piece of kind of translucent plastic. It's like smoky obsidian. You just hold on to that. And Ruworks gives another reroll to Jody.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
No, not to be rude, but I do have other people that I need to sign the books for.
Having heard him say what he just said and witnessed that interaction, Nick is going to shoot a message over to the prince on his feed.
Mm-hmm.
And just start that conversation a little. Hey, we're doing these elite memberships. We were thinking might be a great person to have representing the company, maybe. So how about being
God, you're like being Cutco knives.
a little bit.
And you get a message back that says, "New phone, who dis?" And then LOL. JK, no, I think that's awesome. Let me talk to my dad and I will get back to you.
Cool. And I give information for our PR department so that they can get in touch. And can I remember any? I couldn't understand any of what they were saying, so I wouldn't have understood the conversation that was happening.
Well, I mean, only that
was-
little part was in 7th dimension.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't have a plan yet there.
Cool. Do you want to get your book signed?
Oh, are you kidding? Of
Well, I
course.
want to make sure. So I have to ask, what was the inspiration behind Icarus?
Curiosity. I love science. Don't tell anyone. But,
I gathered, yeah.
I'm fascinated by the process you were describing.
A lot of trial and error, and you have to remember this was almost 50 years ago, so technology wasn't what it was now. I mean, if I had done the work that I had started then, now, I mean, my research has continued. I tell you what, and he hands you another of the thin sheets of plastic. After this, swing on by. We'll talk. We'll have a drink. Having a few friends
I take out my
over.
business card case like I was expecting this and file it away.
Sure. Now, don't mean to be rude, but there are a couple hundred people who want their book signed.
Of course. Would you mind?
Oh,
I don't do
no.
this often, but
Not at all. Here, I'll give you a couple. I don't know. Yeah, hopefully one of
looks
those
like
was
Idris
good.
I
Elba.
didn't
He
describe
knows.
Nicola.
No,
Nicola
yeah,
is
yeah.
not the kind of person who normally would ask for a selfie. Nicola is a little bit goth.
Yeah, what is she?
She's early 30s, turquoise hair, kind of, studded belt kind of look to her.
Little girl with the dragon tattoo?
Yeah, a little girl
Okay.
with a dragon tattoo, but not quite who you would normally expect to be a CEO. Discovered this stuff pretty young. Has gloves like these on, and a brace around one of her knees, and is pretty chill.
Cool.
Like not businesswoman in any way, shape, or form. So to sit there and be taking selfies and smiling like that is not her. It looks a little strange on her.
Sure,
But
yeah.
it's pure joy.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of comments like, "Oh my god, I've never seen her smile. I feel weird." And as you turn around, the hipster kid in the band T-shirt of a band you've never heard of is kind of eyeballing you, and then very nonchalantly turns away.
What?
And what?
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 Nothing. And then he runs off awkwardly. Played by Michael Holmes. And yeah, so this goes on for about an hour, and in between people, Dr. Armstrong is telling you anecdotes about just his entire career, and Kinsey's just like the whole time. Chuck, what are you doing?
When I get to the doctor, I want to shake his hand and accidentally squeeze a little harder, like enough that would probably crush a human's hand, but not on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Just oh god, I'm so sorry.
And he kind of gives a sharp intake of breath, and he lifts his hand up, and it is kind of mangled.
Oh, God.
And
I
he's
can
like,
snap a picture of it.
well, I mean, it's an occupational hazard.
Oh,
And
God.
his hand goes back into perfect form.
Nicola doesn't
Gnarly.
blink.
Yeah. It's been said that he is technically undead, so there is kind of a weird waxy quality to him. You know, he exudes a warmth, but there's also something there that's not quite right. But he's not undead like a vampire or something. He just...
Or is he?
Probably not. I don't know yet. And then he hands you one of the cards as well. He can be a +1.
He always is.
You're gonna have to piggyback with somebody else because he doesn't give you a card, but that's okay.
I have an employee staff with me. I might. He and I met in school studying science, so I don't know if a business deal's gonna go down or what's gonna happen. Might as well keep him with me.
Sure.
Like to the party? Like to the... I mean, yeah, no, business, yeah.
It's business.
Yeah.
This
So,
isn't a party.
They have like food.
Estela Castillo,
Probably
thank you.
food.
Thank you for the bits.
Thank you.
So the book signing continues, and there's a lot of colorful characters. There's Pixie, who is kind of struggling to bring the book over, but she plops it down, he signs it, and she lets out an explosion of fairy dust, and then picks up the book and flies away. There's an 8-foot tall kind of Sasquatch looking guy in cargo shorts who's like, I've been your fan for decades.
We play cards together.
Yeah, these characters will all have names at some point, probably. And then, after about an hour and some change, the crowd quietly disperses, and Dr. Armstrong gets up and he's like, well, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind, I'm going to walk back home, and I hope you all get home safe. Thank you very much. Remember, be the light in the twilight. And the crowd parts, and he walks back down 5th, and as he does, you notice that there is a luminescent arrow that lights up on the plastic card that you were given.
This is so cool.
And you as well.
Snap a picture.
I see it looking at the thing on.
I'm not hiding it. I'm just like, eye level.
Yeah, and suddenly there's a small crowd gathering around you, but it's kind of going off in a curve, almost like you're supposed to follow it. So you walk out the front of the last bookstore, and the crowd is slowly dissipating. Some people are following Dr. Armstrong as he's walking back down the street. As you get out, the arrow starts blinking pretty rapidly and heading northward on 5th there.
Am I overdressed? Am I underdressed? Like, should I change?
I don't know. What are you wearing? What do you look like?
I feel
What do you
fine.
look like?
I just look really cool. I always look super cool.
Sure.
Okay.
But it's like, but not like generic cool. Like I made choices cool.
Okay.
Like,
I love that and hate that alternately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chuck is wearing a casual button-up without a tie.
Oh.
Whoa.
Because it's the weekend, you know.
Whoa.
All right. I'm into it.
I mean, I've never seen you this chill.
It's patient
before.
zero.
But you're just like, you even are unbuttoned.
Yeah,
Are you okay?
yeah, it's the weekend. I'm relaxing.
Oh,
I love it.
okay.
Is the arrow pointing the same direction he's walking? Or?
Yeah. So you're following patient zero down 5th, and the crowd the energy is palpable. And then eventually he turns a corner and he crosses the street, and he goes to the Wilshire Grand Plaza, which, if you know Los Angeles, is this relatively new building in the downtown skyline, which is partially owned by Korea Bank. So it's got this giant light up sign that changes periodically to a big kind of mathematical 0. And as you get closer and closer, the arrow starts blinking more and more until finally it is solid as you cross the threshold of the lobby of the Wilshire Grand Plaza. There's all sorts of business people. There's very sharply dressed European tourists who are walking around the lobby of the building because it is part office complex, part hotel. But you know, because it's not even remotely a secret, that Dr. Armstrong's apartment and his lab are on the very top floor. There's a spire, which some people jokingly refer to as his office. Because not only does it make it the largest point in downtown Los Angeles, but he has been known to climb on top and sit in the lotus position and just kind of look across the expanse that is Los Angeles. And there is another flicker of the arrow leading you to what looks kind of like a nondescript corner of the lobby. And as you get closer, it goes solid for a moment, and then it changes to a question mark.
As we walk, occasionally you'll kind of turn and Nicola won't be there. And then a second later she'll say, "Keep up!"
Okay.
I'm just making sure no one's following us.
Well, I mean, there's hundreds of people following you. Are you looking for anything in particular?
Well, no, I just mean like with the direction card and everything. Like no one's trying to
I don't know.
piggyback.
Are they?
I don't know. Are they?
No, they're not. I just didn't know if you wanted to like roll perception or something like that. You can.
All right. I'll do it.
Kineas, 2. Thank you.
So much.
That's a 12.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of people who are trying to get close to you, but I mean, nobody that really stands out. When you turn to look at them, they're like, okay. Oh, Dad, why do you gotta do that?
Do what?
You're always doing that. The
Doing what?
thing.
What thing? I make noises. What is that a crime now? Oh my god, this is getting really close to me and my actual dad.
Practically hear him roll his eyes. Nicola, why don't you roll me... What are your other skills? I mean, I could pull up your character sheet, but it's more fun if I ask you.
Science, insight, persuasion, or my
Okay.
strong suits?
Roll me an insight check.
20.
Okay. There's some sort of field that is protecting this corner that it is directing you to.
Okay.
You can't quite tell if it's a hologram or if it's a force field or something, but it feels like there's something on the other side of it.
Okay, I'm gonna walk up to it and holding the card, go through. I can do this faster than anybody can keep up with it, so
Cool.
go check it out, see what happens there.
Yeah, so for a moment, Nicola is there, and then the next she's gone.
Okay.
Just completely gone.
Every time.
What does that look like, though, when you do that?
I mean, basically my plan here, which may happen faster than anybody can pick up on it, is figure out whether you have to be holding one to go through it.
Okay.
If you do, I'll go through, and I'll kind of reach a hand out and hand it to Chuck so he can get in.
So as you do so, there's RJ Canuck. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
As you do, you're used to moving kind of outside of the realm of normal things, but it stops you in your tracks for a second.
Okay.
And you feel the telltale signs of like lasers scanning you, making sure, reading your biometrics. You know how that goes. And then just as quickly as that freeze happens, you're through on the other side. And there's an amazingly ornate marble lobby. And at the far end, there is a kind of nondescript elevator door.
Okay.
And then you turn around and you can see everybody else in the lobby, but they don't appear to be able to see you.
Okay. I'm gonna step back out, hand Chuck the card, and step back through.
What do I...
Yeah, all of a sudden the card's in your hand. It's like...
Okay.
And then, yeah, you just have a brief moment where...
Someone gift that.
Sorry.
I'm gonna take Kinsey's hand and try to walk through.
What are we doing?
card.
What are we doing?
That thing looks.
I don't think that's a good idea.
If I can track any of the tech, if I know what any of that was, or if I can try and remember it, I'd like to try and remember it.
Okay, well now roll me a science check.
That's a 18.
Okay. I mean, you've read about this kind of stuff. This is the kind of tech that the military has been rumored to develop to track, suspects in war zones. It's kind of like the next step in facial recognition, except it's a full body recognition.
Okay.
And now your pattern's on file, probably.
Joy.
Yeah, you know how that goes.
Gotta get somebody on that to
Yeah.
get that off file.
Yeah. And yeah, so question mark. Question mark. Question mark. Question mark.
Do I see them go through this?
Yeah, for sure.
Step in.
Okay. Do you take Zach with you?
Of course.
Okay. I just want to make sure. No, you have to wait here, kid. Oh, Dad! No, okay. So yeah.
Over 18 only.
Yeah. So you both step through and it starts scanning and then it kind of pauses for a second and then the lights go red and it feels like there's a secondary scan going on with you. And then it turns green and you're in the lobby with everybody else.
Fine.
You notice kind of a flicker in your peripheral vision and then you feel a flicker in your peripheral vision over here.
What do I see?
Roll insider perception.
25.
Okay. When the flicker stops, you can see somebody in a very sharply dressed suit kind of standing behind a pillar looking at you. And then flickers off again.
I'm impressed.
So yeah, you're in this very ornate lobby with the elevator at the end.
I guess we should go get in the Did you really bring the account? Never mind. Nothing.
Well, I thought
I'm head of
I
finance.
thought they were an
You like
item.
getting a paycheck, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I thought you. Oh god.
What?
Oh, Skyler. I'm just gonna go wait outside.
No, come on.
No, I'm gonna embarrass you.
It'll
I'm
be
gonna
fun.
embarrass her. I don't really know this guy, but I'll probably embarrass him too.
Currently, you're embarrassing yourself.
Great.
It'll be just do the breathing. Do the breathing. It'll be fine.
Okay. I'm in my happy place. Happy place.
Come on, it's all sciencey and stuff. That's
No, I mean,
your thing.
it's totally cool. I'm totally into that. And
just think about like the stories you'll be able to tell the kids on your next episode.
if you want to bring logic and reason into the conversation, then I guess I have
Into
to.
the conversation about science?
Yeah, well, no, it's a thing that okay, yeah, let's go. And then glasses shuffle. And then the question mark turns into an exclamation point, and you get closer to the elevator, and it opens up, and it seems much larger on the inside than it did from the outside. And as you enter, it's just you. You feel like there's another scan going on, and there's only one button. So I'm assuming you press it.
Once everyone's in, I'll press it.
And there's a very pregnant pause before the doors close very suddenly, and you feel this G-force as it accelerates up at a very, very fast rate. And then with a telltale ding, the doors open, and you are in this immense, magnificently appointed space that is kind of Art Deco, but it's also part laboratory, part like old school gymnasium, and there's an amazing view of Los Angeles. You can see
Click, click, click.
You
I
know
started
those little,
sneaking into the background of her pictures.
yeah. Well, it's very easy for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you know those little bars they have in elevators to like hold on to? Yeah, Kingsley's destroyed it, just grabbing onto it for dear life.
Sure.
Actually, I don't think the speed would have bothered me really going up that
No,
fast. I'm used
not
to
really.
it.
I mean, you compensated
There's
for it.
definitely like a hand like squeeze mark where Chuck was holding.
There's 2 squeeze marks,
Yeah.
one for me, one from you.
And there are all kinds of people and creatures milling about. Some in fancy dress, some in sort of stereotypical superhero garb, cowls and capes and gauntlets aplenty.
I told you I was underdressed.
And a robot version of Dr. Armstrong wearing a butler's outfit comes up to you with a tray and says, "Drink," robot style.
Yeah. Why does it look like him? Is that weird?
Dr. Armstrong has programmed us to take his place should the need arise.
You know what? I kind of want one. For me, like... Yeah.
Turns its head to you in a very quizzical robot way. "Perhaps the good doctor will give you the blueprints for me and my brethren if the time is appropriate. You should ask him. He's very nice."
He
And then
is
it goes
really
off.
nice.
You all get drinks. Let's say it's white wine. That seems like kind of a fancy beverage to have, right?
I mean, the over-under on like the real estate of this downtown at this point.
But Dr. Armstrong's
His office.
nowhere to be found. It's funny because he wasn't that far ahead of you, but it appears like he has just kind of blended into the scenery.
Well, there's also several robot hymns running around, so...
That's true.
I'm keeping an eye out for the person I saw earlier darting around.
Okay.
Also, Nicola's not drinking her wine.
Okay.
She's holding it, but she's not really.
It's fine. It can be a prop. King Z, what do you want to do?
Pound the wine.
Okay.
It is gone. And I'm kind of looking over the Los Angeles skyline, and it's kind of hard to read what he's thinking, but it's a
A quiet longing
little bit.
for days gone by. And let's pause for a second because, yes, it is 2019 Los Angeles, but because it's a superhero story, there's a lot more cool buildings peppered across town and people flying, but the traffic's still just as terrible.
Awful.
Might be worse, actually.
Now it's in the sky. Also.
Yeah. Oh, God, can you imagine?
No.
Yeah, I don't want a flying car. You run out of gas in a regular car, you pull over. Anyway, sorry. Yeah,
Too real.
so it's a party. What do you want to do?
How many people do I see that I am familiar with?
Well, why don't you roll me an investigation check? Or which advantage do you have? Because you're well connected, right?
Yeah, I have well informed and contacts.
Okay, so this would be well informed.
Okay. Immediate investigation or perception check. So I will do perception because I am a lot better at that.
Cool.
16.
So there's a lot of what might be considered Silver Age and Bronze Age heroes here. There are a couple of younger people, people that you kind of vaguely recognize that have shown up in your feed from time to time, but nobody can quite remember their name right now. Kinsey is kind of excitedly pointing at some people and waving. There is a very handsome older Latino gentleman standing near a window with a younger Latino woman, and they are having kind of a heated conversation. And she turns and looks at you and says, "You're Skyler Smith, right?
Yep.
I told you that was her, Daddy." And they come over and talk to you. You'll have to excuse my father. He's a big fan, but he's a little embarrassed.
Oh, would you like a selfie?
I don't know, Papa. What do you say? I couldn't. And the older man is dressed in a very fine purple suit with gold trim. He's got a lapel pin that kind of looks like a luchador mask. He has a cane with a golden top, and he's like, "If you would honor an old man, I would be very, very grateful to take a selfie with you."
Of course, or
Played
if
by
you-
Edward James Olmos, of course.
No, of course.
Perfect.
Or if you, your daughter would like to take a proper photo, I guess.
Do you mind? That's more my speed.
Yeah. I give her my phone to, although she probably has her own too, but then she can do it with both, and then I
Okay.
can have it to post on social too.
All right, I'm just gonna take a bunch, okay?
Okay.
And he takes your hand Enchanted. Sorry, where are my manners? My name is Dr. Guillermo Navarro. And he rolls his eyes and looks at his daughter. You might know me as Dr. Payaso.
Do I know that name?
You do know Dr. Payaso. He was another social justice hero in the late 70s, early 80s, who dealt with a lot of police brutality towards minority communities. And at the time, he did dress kind of in a combination of like a zoot suit and a luchador. But as the years went by, he did actually go to medical school. So now he is actually Dr. Navarro. But yeah, he used to be Dr. Payaso. And his daughter, you also kind of vaguely recognize, you've heard stories about another superhero kind of in the same vein from the 90s named Sad Girl, who operated out of Echo Park mainly. But she's in her mid-40s now, and she's dressed in an exquisite gown, and they just kind of stand and shoot the shit with you for a little bit, talking about current events and, you know, what it's like to do what you do these days. I mean, back when I was active, you know, it was just word of mouth. But now, I mean, you can just point your camera at you and you're a celebrity.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's a great time to be alive, don't you?
It's very interesting. I'll say that much.
So, question, what do you actually do?
In terms of powers?
Yes, all of a sudden, Nicola's there.
Well, this is sort of a flashback question. I guess this would be a memory thing, because
yeah.
I would have had a reason to hire you, I think.
Where do you ask me this question?
I mean, this is something I think that would have happened
Yeah.
back in our first meeting that would not have been necessarily monitored. Or at least it would have been in like a Tesla cage.
Yeah, so in comic book panels, you know, there's the panel of you talking to Dr. Payaso and Sad Girl, then there's kind of a close-up on your face, and then there's a sepia tone panel with this interaction here.
So we're sitting in a coffee shop, but it's in the building of my first startup company, which was a place called Oasis that didn't go. And it's us, and we're there with coffee cups, and it's me saying, so what do you actually do?
And are we sitting near a window, can we say? I point out the window, I say, you see that car out there? Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, floop, and the car lifts about a foot off the ground, and then gently settles back down.
Hey, my car!
You damn kids!
Is that it?
I mean, I can fly, too.
Well, you should have led with that.
Well, it's harder to demonstrate in here.
Fair enough. Okay, I'll have our people call your people.
Sounds good.
We'll be in touch.
You need the help.
Oof. Present day. What are you up to, Chuck?
Chuck has found one of those like sort of Silver Age heroes that like one of like the really brutish like pickup and throwing cars, you know, back in the day kind of guys, and it's just like, oh, I know you probably get this. I have like so many questions about like how do you like pick up your phone and not destroy it? How do you do anything and not destroy it with your bare hands?
So you are talking to Rex Strongman,
Yeah.
who is dressed as a old-timey like circus strongman. He's got a curly Q mustache and everything. He's got like the striped kind of swimsuit and very short shorts. Well, you have to be very careful because I found as technology has progressed, my giant meat hooks just destroy everything I touch. I've worked through it with a lot of therapy, meditation. You know, you have to envision that the world is fragile.
Yeah.
That you can't solve everything just by crushing it with your bare hands.
Just like, you know, anytime I get a text message, I break my phone in half.
Right. No, I know how that goes. Picture it as though you're holding a child in your hand. You don't want to break the child.
No.
You want to love the child. Think on that.
Thank you. That is honestly really helpful.
Fun fact, Rex Strongman was actually a character of mine in City of Heroes.
I missed that game. King Z has definitely started hanging around you. Because he has gotten to the point of the party where he's like, I know no one here except for this guy.
Great.
Small children.
I don't have any. Is that what? Are you?
No, it's just that's interesting advice.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. It's good advice. I hadn't thought of it.
Roll perception.
They have nothing in common, but he has no one else to talk to right now.
And he's like, I mean, I know this guy from work, so I don't want to be rude.
Yeah. It's a party. There's a lot of people around.
So you're sure, like, at no point, like, some sort of experiment you were working on, like, made its way into, like, I don't know, the air duct and into accounting. Like, at no point.
Well, I don't do experiments. I am the experiment. There was a brief time where I was trying to hide in the air ducts. I will be honest with you, but I never got to accounting.
I'm just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it probably happened in the office, but I'm not 100%. So I'm just...
Kinsey's not there. While you were talking to Dr. Payaso and Sad Girl, he just kind of spirited away. And then all of a sudden you see him running through the crowd, flustered, and he grabs your hand. He's like, you gotta come with me. You too. And he starts pulling you through the crowd.
Kinsey, what's...
No time to... come with me.
As he reaches for my hand, I pull it away. But I'll follow.
Okay. So yeah, he's awkwardly weaving through the crowd. Excuse me, Kinsey Beck, science boy, coming through. And he takes you to this kind of stereotypical looking entrance to like a laser tag arena. There's a giant door that slides open. It's got the hazard stripes and everything, and in stenciled letters it says Doom Room on it. There was a list, and then he said we could go first, and I mean, it's...
I thought something was wrong.
It's Dr. Armstrong's Doom Room. This is legendary.
Oh, okay, but they just don't... Okay.
No, Skyler, we gotta do this. We gotta do this. When are we gonna be here again?
Oh, okay,
But-
snap.
What is it?
It's an intelligent combat simulator. Dr. Armstrong kind of pioneered this technology, and it's the Doom Room, man. And you can hear Zach perk up. Oh my God, did he say the Doom Room, Dad? And then he grabs you and kind of tries to drag you, but you know.
I let him.
Okay, bulkier than he is.
Do I guess I'll follow.
Both of us are just so awkward at this party.
So as you make your way to the Doom Room, the crowd parts and everybody's kind of like, okay. And there's two older like tube TVs on either side of the door, and an older version of, and by older I mean younger version of Dr. Armstrong pops on the screen. He's like, so you made it to the Doom Room. Well done. I hope you last. And the doors part, and there's fog, and you see a room about 60 feet deep and about 30 feet wide. Can't quite see the ceiling, but it's there. There's lights in recessed corners. And there's an arrow on the floor pointing in.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
Does Kinsey have powers?
No. He's just a guy.
Kinsey, are you sure this is safe for you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, nobody's died recently in the Doom Room. I mean, nobody's ever died in the Doom Room.
We didn't sign liability waivers with...
I did not sign anything.
No.
Yeah.
And I'm in.
Fair enough.
Once I heard no one's died recently, I'm like, oh, this is finally interesting to me.
Fun!
So you enter the Doom Room, and it's gray metal. You know, we've all seen the X-Men movies. And the lights kind of flicker for a moment, and then...
As soon as that starts, I'm going to go ahead and hide in plain sight.
Cool. So yeah, there's a shadowy corner, and you're there,
that, yeah.
and nobody sees Nicola. But I need you all to make a dodge resistance check. So you roll a d20 and add your dodge modifier.
16.
Crit fail.
You do not make it. You definitely do not make it.
16.
You don't make it either.
Let's see, that is 22.
Okay. So you're fine. The rest of you, I need you to make me a fortitude resistance check. Crude Imposter Nightbright. Thank you.
Ooh, bad. 4.
Okay.
22.
Okay. You're okay.
Fortitude? 14.
Okay. So, Skyler, you're not feeling so good.
No.
You are dazed, which means you can only take a single action.
And I couldn't have done my telekinetic shield in time?
It's a gas, so it wouldn't have had any
okay.
effect. But all of a sudden, you realize that it's called the Doom Room for a reason. And cue Ready to Go by Republica, you at home in chat. It's a good training montage song.
As soon as I start feeling not well, I put my phone away.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, this is actually serious. Okay.
All right. So, Steven.
Yeah.
While you are recovering from that, I need you to make me a dodge resistance check.
Alrighty. That is a 25.
Okay. So you see these tiny holes open in the ground and these steel pipes come up and start to form a cage around you, but you are able to kind of sidestep it just in time. But there is a giant person-sized cage right in front of you that as soon as it realizes there's no one inside, collapses back into the ground.
It's the first time King Z has smiled in possibly a month and a half.
Okay.
He drops his jacket. He is here for this.
There's a blink of red lights, and nothing happens this turn. Nicola. Nothing happens to you either. Steven again. I need you to make me a dodge resistance check, please.
15.
Okay. So you feel the floor beneath you start to give way, and you sidestep that just in time. Chuck.
Finally, and he's just watching us again. What is going?
I'm hopping around. I'm dropping jackets.
All of a sudden, a very stereotypical looking sci-fi ray gun drops from the ceiling, and I need you to make me a will resistance check.
Okay, will. Let's see. That is going to be another 22.
Okay. So there's a green ray that shoots out, and for a moment you kind of feel the room start to spin, but then you shake it off, and it just kind of goes and hits the back wall. You're starting to feel better now.
Okay.
Nicola. Nothing happens to you. You are hiding in plain sight quite well. But I need you to make me a dodge resistance check. And your dodge is pretty good, right?
Yeah. 15?
Okay. That works. And you get the same experience with the cage trap trying to pop up, but you are far too fast for it.
And I call out to everyone, there's a trap right there. You should watch out for it.
And Zach's like, there's traps everywhere, man!
Well, specifically, there's one right there.
Okay!
How is Kinsey doing?
He's kind of standing stock still, but he looks just ecstatic.
As long as he's happy, I guess. Oh.
Is there a way out of this?
And then as you look at him to see how he's doing, a panel slides back behind him, and surrounding him, these missile launchers pop out. And they are going for you. What is your dodge?
3.
And a couple of missiles harmlessly zip past you and explode on the wall behind you.
This is your fault!
This place is a huge liability.
And then Nicola, you also are hit with a jet of gas from the ceiling, so make a dodge resistance check for me, please.
That was 13. 22?
Okay, and make a fortitude resistance check.
26.
Okay, yeah, you're fine. It just dissipates harmlessly around you as you kind of do your thing. Let's see, Steven, what happens to you next? That same panel from behind Kinsey seems to have reloaded and targets you. It's like literally they're on both sides of him, but he is perfectly safe. So I need you to actually, what's your dodge?
My dodge is a 7.
Okay. No, they miss you completely. Chuck.
Yep.
Nothing happens to you. All right. So this goes on for a little while. There's a variety of hazards going on. Kinsey seems to sidestep them all very keenly. Zach is having an amazing time. He actually jumps in the path of some missiles. You do get hit with a vertigo ray at one point, and you're falling prone on the ground for a minute. You're fine. You seem to just very casually sidestep everything, and it's old tech, but it's kind of quaint, and you know, it's fun. It's like going to Disneyland.
I don't love though that they're getting to know all the details of what we do.
Sure.
That's not something I'm too happy about.
Understandable. So this goes on for about 20 minutes, and there's blaring sirens and lights and everything, and it's very distracting, and then all of a sudden it stops. The lights go out for a second, and then they come back up, and you see the room in full detail, and it's basically just a big gray gym. But then the doors open, and a person in a very sharp suit appears right in front of you. The doctor would like to have all of the guests assembled in the main room if you don't mind coming with me. And then they're gone like that. So you go back into the main room, and everybody's crowded around the windows, and they're looking down about where the Target at 7th and Fig is, across the street from the 7th Street Metro Center. And you can see kind of a wisp of smoke creeping up along the side of the building. And leaning right over on this railing up against the window, you see Dr. Armstrong, and his jaw is clenching. You can see the person in the very nice suit speaking to him, and then they turn around, and all of the robot butlers have put down their drink trays and have kind of gone off to the sides in what looks like a guard position. And Dr. Armstrong turns around and comports himself. There appears to have been an accident with the exposition line downtown, or down at the metro station. I don't know what the cause is, but if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go investigate, because this doesn't happen in my neighborhood. If anybody else cares to join me, certainly welcome to. I'm going to go be a hero. And he puts on this old leather bomber jacket and makes his way for the elevator.
I'm gonna follow.
I'm gonna follow. I don't do this much, but that was like a good warm up. So I'm kind of like psyched now to just do stuff.
I want to make sure though this is him.
Okay.
Like this is
Not a
because we
robot.
have robot butlers all around and facsimiles.
Okay.
I have an eidetic memory. Is there anything that's different about?
Let's see, that gives you a +5 to recall,
Plus
right?
5, yeah.
Do you have an investigation or perception or anything? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Yeah, I have a.
Well, perception, obviously, that's
Perception.
what you've been rolling.
No,
Yeah.
no. My perception is not as high. My insight is really.
Okay,
really
yeah,
high.
do insight and then add +5 for your eidetic memory.
17 plus. So it's 26 plus 5, 30. 1.
Yeah, this is Dr. Armstrong.
Okay.
Um,
I'm in then.
While he doesn't have an Icarus rig, you've got a pretty good sense of how people tick, and he is the same man you were speaking to earlier. So as he makes his way to the elevator, his head hung low, he turns around and he sees you both coming. Oh. Well, thank you for joining me.
And like I said, Kinsey, stay here, enjoy the party, okay?
Yeah, that's probably, that's a good idea. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit down for a couple minutes.
Zach, stay.
Dad!
And I'm on my way.
Chuck, they may need some
I'm not staying.
numbers wrong.
I'm not staying here. So yeah.
Yeah, we should assess the damage. Maybe we can help out.
Yeah.
I have an
Okay,
insurance nightmare room. You don't want to be here. It's horrific.
so...
The liability
And there
in
were-
this place.
And there were no waivers.
And there were no waivers.
There's a couple of other people that get in the elevator with you. The person in the very sharply dressed, or sharp suit, who's You can't really tell if they're a man or a woman. Doesn't really matter. But Sad Girl gets in with you. You can hear her kind of humming to herself, like she's warming up. Rex Strongman stays behind. He is going to town on the crudité platter. Bohemian Galaxy, thank you for the resubs. All right. And yeah, the elevator goes back down to street level very, very quickly. It's the reverse of the G-force you felt on the way up, so you actually lift just a little bit as you go down.
Chuck grips, but thinks, baby.
Remember, you have to hold the baby. You don't want to crush the baby.
Just two scaly, like, claw marks on the damn thing at this point.
And then when you get into the lobby, the hologram that had been blocking the entrance before is gone, and you can see a lot of people looking in to this other portion of the lobby that they hadn't been aware of before. And then from the shadows behind the pillars in the lobby, more of the robotic duplicates of Dr. Armstrong pop out and act as crowd control to gently push people back as you make your way out. You are on the street, and there's a lot of panic. You can see some first responders arriving. There are some police who are trying to cordon off the crowd, but when they see Dr. Armstrong and the group of you with him, they lift the caution tape and let him in. Doc, we don't know what happened. We got reports about 20 minutes ago of some sort of accident down there. One of the trains at least derailed. Details are a little sketchy right now, but if you can get down there and at least give us a report, we'd be really, really grateful right about now. And Dr. Armstrong says, of course, that's what superheroes do, right? And taps the guy on the shoulder, and the guy, you can see, melts just a little bit and smiles really big. Yeah, thank you, Doctor. And he leads you into the 7th Street Metro Station. There are some injured people who've made it up to the top level. There are some people who are trying to make their way out, but they are being blocked by police because they want everybody to kind of stay where they are. And there's definitely smoke coming from the bottom platform, and you can see the flicker of flame coming up the stairs as well.
All right. I don't really break stride. I'm just going straight towards it.
Okay. Even the doctor takes a moment to pause, but when he sees you, he grins to himself and he's like, 7th dimension, I'm telling you.
I am fearless.
Yes, I'm well aware of that. Bohemian Galaxy, you get a reroll. Or, sorry, Eric, you get a reroll from Bohemian Galaxy. It's Monday, I'm very tired. Okay, so you are the first one down the stairs, right. And you can see actually a couple of the metro trains derailed and at jagged edges. You can hear the moans of people who are trapped in the cars. There is a fire on the tracks that has spilled a little bit over onto the platform. Fortunately, these trains are electric, so you don't have to worry about fuel catching fire, but there was enough combustible material around there that there is fire there. And it's just a mess.
All right. I'm going to go to... Are all the doors open on the trains, or are they, like...
Some are like stuck halfway open, some are closed and people are pounding on them furiously.
I go to one where people are pounding on it and I just force it open.
Okay, I'm gonna need you to make me a, what is your strength?
7.
Okay, so I'm making a toughness check for the door because doors can't dodge, but they do have a physical toughness. Yeah, so you got 1 degree of success, and it gives just a tiny, tiny bit.
Can I assist?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. Do you want to do your own check?
Yeah.
Cool. What is your strength?
12.
Yeah.
Not a baby, not a baby, not a baby.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you just to the point where you actually dent the side.
I like end up just peeling one like cardboard just outwards. Oh god. This way.
Yeah, and there's a couple of people that actually tumble out on you.
Are there any more that are like that people are trapped behind?
Yeah.
I'm going to telekinetically move, push the doors open. And if they won't budge, I will rip them off.
Okay. What is your move object?
Move object is 4.
Okay. Yes, you very much do that. And there's people who are coming out clutching belongings, and there's a couple of people with babies and kids and everything. You're getting all these people to safety. Dr. Armstrong is mostly just standing back and letting you do your thing. Sad Girl is helping people get on the platform, and she's singing the song to them that's very sad, very plaintive, but it seems to be comforting to them. So as soon as she's kind of gotten them back up to speed, they make their way out the door, and then there is this incredible grinding metallic sound that almost sounds like a scream that is coming from way down the tunnel. Not the direction the train heads towards Santa Monica, but where it goes to get serviced and stuff.
We can't see anything coming from there, right?
No, it's dark.
Wow.
Dr. Armstrong, do you have any idea what that could be?
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of mechanical equipment down there.
Give me a second, and I'll zoom.
Cool. What does that look like when you do that? I mean, do you run or?
I move 200 times the speed of a cheetah
Okay.
at its full speed. So I'm moving 2,000 miles per hour.
Great.
God damn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I'm even trackable
Okay.
visually. I think I'm there and I'm not there, and then I'm back.
So you go past the train, and there's just hundreds and hundreds of feet of darkness. And because you are moving so fast, it's kind of hard for the light to catch up with you. You kind of see a flicker of orange light as you go past a certain point, and then you get to a very old set of metal double doors, like big industrial gates. And they appear to have been hastily closed and kind of sandwiched together. Or, like interlaced like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's not something I can open up on my own, is it?
No.
Okay. Can I see anything through them?
You can see some lights way, way far down and some shadows playing across them.
Okay. Is there anything unique about it that I can...
But the door?
Yeah, so it's a door that's been...
Yeah, it's
sort of...
like a giant metal door that looks like the train is supposed to go through there.
Right.
But yeah, it's been kind of twisted in such a way so that you can't easily crawl through it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. And past it, all I see are some lights and shadows.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And more train track, of course.
Okay. Is there anything on the walls that I notice?
I mean, there's some old conduit, there's some old power boxes,
Okay.
but nothing...
I'm gonna go ahead and take my phone out of my pocket and snap some pictures.
Okay.
And pocket it and head back.
Okay. So, you see that same flash of orange as you go
I'm
by.
not going quite full speed, but I'm going fast.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to make out because it is kind of in the shadows, but there's a little bit of orange light. So you return to everybody, and Dr. Armstrong says, "What did you see?"
This.
Okay. So on your phone, because I'm assuming you were taking like the pictures past the door, or
Yeah, I sort of tried to grab everything I could,
Okay.
maybe even some video footage.
Okay. Yeah, so you get some video footage, and as you're looking it over again, it's weird because there's almost this distortion that is like playing right in front of you in the camera that you don't remember seeing when you were actually there. And it has this kind of weirdly creepy whisper kind of effect to it, and then it's gone, and it almost appears like it's going back down the other side of the broken door.
Can I... Is it... Can I hear words in it, or...
No, it's just kind of nondescript.
That's not creepy at all.
No.
Except it's super creepy.
Yeah. Anyone understand that?
No.
Well, I think we know which way we gotta go now.
I'm on it.
And he hops down on the train tracks, Can I ask you guys to push one of these trains out of the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how hard would that be?
What is your strength? Your strength is 12, right?
12, and I can make it higher if I need it to be.
Well, no, with a strength rank of 12, you can lift 100 tons. You're good.
I mean, I'll try, and then it starts moving a lot easier than I expected it to.
Are you sure accounting is your department?
Yeah. I have my master's in accounting and economics.
I know. Are you sure that's just the career path you want to stick to?
I wish to
is
face
important.
you on the battlefield, to be honest.
I think he's what you'd call a polymath. So, yeah, when you push the trains, it's not actually pushing it down the track. It's just kind of sandwiching two cars together because, they're at weird angles to one another. Okay, so, yeah, you start heading down the tunnel, and the farther you get, it gets darker and darker. But you all see that little flicker of orange about 200 feet down or something.
I actually, and I can't believe I'm saying this in a superhero game, but I actually have low light vision.
I know.
So can I make anything out?
See, this is the problem. We all chose to play human, and
I chose to play half kaiju.
Yeah.
Half dinosaur, I don't know.
Half orc.
this is why I never play human.
Is this something we can roll for perception?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna do that then.
I actually have pretty high perception for something.
Me too.
Do I as well?
Sure.
Nat one.
Oh,
Okay.
it's sure dark.
I realized I haven't checked my phone in a few minutes, and
Yeah.
I'm looking at that, and I'm
Oh, it's so hard to get signal right now.
Oh, and that messes with your dark vision.
27.
17.
Okay. So you see one humanoid figure kind of lurking over another, and you can hear very faintly the one saying, "Help me! Help me!"
I think I see good.
And then, yeah, you see it, but you don't quite make out the cries as well as he does.
Somebody needs help.
What?
At 12.
Okay. It's dark, and
Yeah.
there's a flicker of light.
My eyes are strong, too.
All those years it's staring at spreadsheets, huh?
So Dr. Armstrong says, "All right, let's go slow. Let's not die. And let's just see what's going on here, okay?" So you get closer, and you see that the prone figure is one of the Metro workers. He's wearing an orange vest with reflective material on it, which is picking up some of the orange flicker. And you see this other humanoid figure scrunched over it with a fireball in its hand. And he's got another hand on his chest. None of you have stealth. It doesn't matter.
I
I have a little bit.
think I have it.
I actually
I have a tiny bit.
do as well.
Well, roll me a stealth check. Anybody who wants.
Yeah, I have it.
Actually, he wouldn't.
8.
No.
6.
13.
Okay. There's a lot of debris, and you all kind of
Ow.
make a little too much noise as you get close.
I trip.
And the figure with the fireball turns around and snuffs out real quick. "Wait, no, I'm one of the good guys." It's a woman's voice. She opens her hand again, and the fireball is produced, and you can see that she's wearing like an orange jumpsuit with like another safety vest over it, but she's got a white bandana around her face. I was on the train, and I heard a cry for help down here, and I'm just trying to help. You can call me Ember.
Do I know about Ember? Have I heard of Ember?
No.
Have I heard of Ember?
No.
All right, Ember. Where did you hear these cries? Further down?
Well, it's the damnedest thing, because I heard a voice, and then there was a chorus of voices, and when I came down here, it was just him. But he's not okay. And you look at the guy, and he's got this just absolutely lost, crazed look in his eyes, and he just keeps saying, "Help me! Help me! Help me!" Listen, I'm a first responder of sorts. I don't work for any official agency right now. I'm not a vigilante. I mean, who am I talking to? It's Dr. Armstrong. Listen, I just want to help him, and then I promise I'll be out of your way, but there's something else further down, and I don't know what it is.
Dr. Armstrong, do you think Sad Girl could help him maybe with that thing?
No, you're right. You're right.
Does?
My.
Do you want me to go get her?
Why don't you both go back with him to the platform? Sad Girl needs to stay there and help the other injured people. We're here now. Let's keep moving forward, okay?
So you're saying the women should all go back?
Oh, no.
That is quite sexist.
I meant no offense. No.
I'm just an accountant. I can go back.
No, I mean, please come along with... After you.
I'll take the lead, I guess.
And it's very dark, but I'm pretty sure he's blushing. So, yeah, anybody who wants to roll perception at this point, or observation or anything?
Ooh. 23.
Okay.
Nat 20, which gives me a 30.
Yeah, you're great. Did you just cash in one of your rerolls?
No, I was thinking about it, but then I don't have to. So.
Okay.
If it's perception, it was at 11.
Okay. So you're just still trying to get the lay of the land here. Now that you're kind of slowed down and you have a moment to look around. You all hear that weird whispering as you get closer. And there's definitely some flickering in the shadows is the only way I can describe it. It's like there's a visual distortion in the light, almost like someone's there, someone's not there, someone's there, someone's not there. And you feel presences surrounding you.
What speed are they going
well,
in terms of my speed?
That's the weird thing. They're not exactly moving the way you would expect them to. They're just kind of one place 1 second, and then all of a sudden they're another place.
Okay.
But it doesn't appear that there's a line of motion. And I need you all to roll initiative.
Can I make out any of the words with that perception?
You are hearing weird snippets of the conversations that you've been having since you've been down in the tunnel.
Oh, like an echo?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
What'd you get, Jen?
12.
Okay. Steven?
16.
Okay. Eric?
7.
Jody?
15.
Okay, and I got 12. Jennifer, what is your agility?
3.
Okay, so you will go before me, but Steven, you go first.
Cool.
So you are surrounded by a dozen of these weird kind of shifting humanoid-like figures that are moving around you as if they are sizing you up. That weird whispering is continuing, and the words seem to be taking on a clearer shape and more immediacy. And you just hear them saying, "Help me, help me, help me."
And that's when you see him take a deep breath, teeth clenched, and then Z Energy Blast.
Okay, so what does this Z Energy Blast look like?
I want you to imagine someone took a real film with a green crayon and just went to fucking town. It's very bright. It's kind of uncomfortable. It's very... You would recognize it as super fucking radioactive.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just going to blast him in the face.
Okay. What is that area effect? I'm sorry.
It is a line area 5 feet wide by 30 feet long with a DC of 20.
Okay.
I also get a critical on an 18 to 20.
Okay, and it's an area attack, so you don't have to roll. It hits. Because that's how area attacks work. You don't have to roll for an area attack.
Okay.
But people do have to roll to dodge. So I am going to...
Like, then how's it a crit on an 18 to 20?
Apparently if I use it for close combat.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So I'm going to...
That's why I have the chokehold advantage.
Got it.
Okay, and what is the rank on that?
It's a rank 10.
Okay.
And actually we're looking at a DC 25 because of,
Jesus. Okay. No, that, actually, wait, yes. Somehow they all managed to get out of the way.
There's like smoke rising from his mouth. He's like, fuck.
But there is now a little bit of illumination from the weird radioactive fire trail that you've created there. That's 5 feet wide and 30 feet long.
Whoops.
But yeah, they all sidestep.
As I see that and recognize it as radioactive, if there's any sort of like lead object nearby, I'm gonna step behind it.
Jody, it's your turn.
So the things he just tried to shoot, there seem to be asking for help, though.
Well, I mean, but they're saying that in that weird help me kind of
Might turn you
echoey,
invisible.
creepy subway monster way.
How high is the ceiling here?
It is about 20 feet.
Okay, I'm gonna go up about 10 feet just to get some height, but I'm still not sure if we should actually be shooting these guys yet. I don't do this a lot, so I'm just going to get some height, and actually I'll see if I can see any further down or see anything that gives me any idea what actually is going on here.
Sounds great. So you rise, and as you do, you get a better idea that there are a lot of these things there, more than were just surrounding you, but they're kind of shifting in and out of perspective, for lack of a better word.
Okay. There's a lot of these guys here, and they're doing a weird thing where they're like here, but then they're not here, but then they're here, but not like you do it.
No, it's different. I saw it too.
It's weird. Yeah. Yeah.
We should, it's really strange.
Yeah. Did they break the trains? How did they?
I don't know if they're not solid, right?
Are they solid when they're like there?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes?
Solid-ish.
Ish. They're kind of like the tights that are like about the 40 denier that are like, you know, pretty solid.
Yeah, pretty solid.
Is that it for your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I'm gonna stay up there because then I'll also have angle of attack.
I'm into it. All right, Jennifer, it's your turn.
I guess this is the kind of thing where I should.
Hold on, let me get your character sheet up.
I'm not so good with the hitting of things.
That's fine.
So I probably am best. My best bet here is going to be to slow him down so everybody else can hit him. So that's. Time freeze is only on one, right?
Yes.
And there's a lot of them. So
Yes.
I think this is going to have to be a time traps situation.
Okay. So, great. They are going to, and it's selective, so you can get.
So not allies and just them.
Okay. So what does that look like?
Wherever I can grab them. What can I use here to help?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of detritus. You know, there's a lot of gravel. It's a subway track, so there's just.
Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm basically gonna box them each in.
Okay.
So they can't get anywhere. But it's gonna still allow everybody to get at them.
Nice.
And they take damage too from it. So I guess it's going to be the sort of thing where as I'm shifting it, it's gonna hit some people.
Okay.
As I'm swinging stuff around and throwing it down, and yeah, you're seeing. I'm moving pretty quickly here as this goes. I'm not describing this very well. I'm sorry.
No, you're doing great.
But it's a sphere, so it's a. I think it just kind of goes.
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah. So basically, you create this weird bubble of time that is causing the area around it to.
Morph and shift. And
You are able to dissipate some of them. It's like as soon
slow
as
them
like a
down.
physical object interacts with them, they just kind of shatter and
Okay.
then they're gone.
Okay.
And there's this horrible scream that sounds like the souls of the dead in a pane of shattered glass. Yeah.
Metal.
Yeah.
No glass.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and hide in plain sight.
Okay, cool. So yeah, there's a bunch of junk to hide behind. Cool. It is their turn. So one of them is going to make a grab for you. What is your parry?
10.
Okay. I don't think this is going to go very well. Nope. Sure didn't. So one of them kind of grabs at you and moves past you, but now you're face to face with it, as it were. Imagine a broken mirror that your own face is reflected in that kind of resolves itself for a moment into a weird reverse version of your face that grins horribly, and then it goes back to a shattered visage. Cool. Eric, it's your turn.
That's not good.
Ooh.
Chuck's gonna pick up a piece of railroad track and just chuck it into the crowd of them.
Awesome.
Messy. I approve.
So you, sir, need to roll better with your attack than a 10. I think you can do this.
Yep. So we're gonna use one of these.
That was a natural 1. Just for the record, nat 1.
Natty light.
So is that just straight or with my plus for thrown?
That's with your plus.
Okay, so that's a 17.
Okay. What is the DC for your throw attack?
27.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. Nope. So yeah, you just kind of ball up like a piece of track, or
just like I grab it and then just throw it like this.
Awesome. Yeah, and it shatters a bunch of them.
Not a baby.
And then,
Is there anything specific about the way they shatter that I can see?
what are you looking for?
Patterns, fractals. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on.
It's almost like a signal, like a TV signal getting disrupted. It's like there's a flicker in reality, and then
Okay.
the physical components shatter. It's very unlike anything you've ever seen before.
Okay.
And then all of a sudden, I need everybody to make me either a deception or an insight check.
Oh, not 20.
Nice.
I'll take that.
29 for insight.
Great.
Yeah, mine is also 29.
Nat 20.
Great.
17.
So
Good juju on the side.
Yeah.
I got a 19, so that's cool.
I mean,
Nice.
yeah, it's...
Yeah, we all rolled well. Oh, yeah, that's fine. You know,
High five for
not-
Chuck as well.
So on the other side of the door, you hear this
I'm always light.
human voice saying, help me, and you see a hand reach out. And then a face reaches out. Well, face follows it like this. And it's the guy who's laying on the ground, or who had been laying on the ground. And then once he sees you and you kind of quizzically looking at him, he disappears back into the shadows
Yeah, that's what I thought.
on the other side of the door.
There's no way for me to grab hold of him telekinetically before he disappears.
You can try.
I'm gonna try.
What are you using?
Would that count as move or object, or would that count as flight since I can carry someone else?
I would actually say it's probably your affliction.
Oh, okay.
So you will roll a d20 plus your ranged combat, which is on the page. Actually, sorry, hold on a sec.
Yeah.
Pause.
Just trying to be so complicated.
I know.
Look, being a hero is a really complicated thing sometimes, guys.
Talk amongst yourselves. Yeah, okay. So you are going to actually... Sorry about this, Jody.
No worries.
All good.
Have you not memorized this yet? God!
I can't handle this.
These characters for all of an hour and a half.
Actually, wait, no, you're not close enough because
Alright,
it's
that's
more of
fine.
a touch attack. Sorry. You could do telekinetic projectiles if you want to.
Can I use him as a projectile?
No.
No, I think I'd be afraid of hurting someone who's asking for
Okay,
help.
so yeah, then he just fades back into the shadows behind the twisted metal door.
Can I see where he's... Like, can I get there?
Mm-hmm. Are you trying to go on the other side of the door, or?
I want to see what's there. If he's still him when he's on the other side or not.
Got it. So you look on the other side of the door, and there's the light in the distance, and it's like just a constant movement of the shadows. And you do see the human figure kind of retreat back into it, and then it's gone. Night Steed!
Thank you, Night Steed.
Thank
Night
you.
Steed.
22 months.
That's awesome.
Hold on.
So cool.
Okay. Okay, I'm just prepping. But yeah, so there's a lot of motion on the other side of the door.
Yes or no, humanoid figure change? Did I see it change, or could I see what?
No, I mean you see it retreating into the darkness, running away, and then it's gone.
Okay.
Almost like it's enveloped by the shadows.
Are the humanoid things still around, or did we break them all?
You've broken all the ones that were on this side as far as you can tell.
Hey, Chuck,
Yeah.
you think we can seal that up
Okay.
for now?
Wait, why would you want to seal it up?
Do you want more of those things coming out?
I want to destroy them.
Well, are we going straight in there to see what's
You might
there?
not. I am. And march.
All right.
I guess we're going in.
So
Where did Dr. Armstrong take the? Where is
I'm
he?
trying to take
Has
a
he followed
temper
us?
flop.
he has
so-
followed.
Sorry.
He's still a little shaken by being called a sexist. So
I didn't call him a sexist. I just said
We
what he
heavily
was saying
implied.
was-
no.
No, there is a difference between
The
someone
man's
being
almost
sexist
100
and
years
someone
old.
saying something that is sexist.
Back in
There's-
his day.
I mean, he's been defensively keeping an eye on the situation, but he has not been actively engaging the shadow figures.
He's an old man.
He's a hero,
It
damn
was
it.
promised research.
You may yet get it.
I hope so.
So
No,
yeah,
that's not research.
you can't get through the door the way
Or
it is
is it?
currently twisted.
Chuck, do you mind?
Okay.
I'm not even going to make you roll for it. Yes, you are able to jimmy it enough so that you can get through, but you do have to kind of crawl underneath to get out. So it would be difficult to get back out in a hurry, but you at least have a path in and out now. You can see with your low light vision that the light in the distance appears to be an exit. You can see, well, you're not really sure, but it does seem like it leads to something that is not this train tunnel. But the shadows actually stop moving, and you can see a human figure walking closer towards you. And it would appear to be Dr. Armstrong.
Sorry to interrupt. What happened to the dude in the sharp suit?
You don't know.
Okay. But Dr. Armstrong is walking toward us.
It appears to be Dr. Armstrong.
And is he
Dr.
behind
Armstrong
us?
Is...
Yes.
Is that one of your robots?
No. Not so far as I can tell.
Can I identify any difference between the two?
Well, he's not breathing, but Dr. Armstrong doesn't really breathe normally. But his face is kind of frozen in this weird rictus. Almost like he's trying to smile in a comforting way, but the eyes are dead. And he says, "I'm so glad I was able to help you today. Can you help us too?"
Depends. What are you looking for?
What did you help us with?
Help. I help. I want to help.
What are you trying to help with?
Get out.
Get what out?
Get out.
Where are you from?
It just looks at you like it doesn't understand what you're saying.
Where are you?
Dark. Light, dark. And you can see some of the other mirror weird figures forming up behind it. There's 6, and then there's 12, and then it just seems like they go on and on for a very long time, almost to the point they're obscuring the light behind you. Or in front of you, I should say. Oh, Night Steed, reroll with Steven.
Aw, thanks,
Yay.
man. I'm going to destroy this.
Save me one.
Did you crash the trains?
Get out. Get out.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not doing that. And I'm going to spend a hero point.
Oh, are you now?
Yes.
And what are you doing?
So, I basically want to volley a ball of Z energy.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I'm going to try to save one, as requested.
Okay.
For science.
For science.
Are you editing the scene?
I believe this qualifies as that.
Okay. I'll grant it.
Actually, it seems more like I'm giving an alternate array towards an ability I have.
Well, technically that would be a power stunt, which would be extra effort. But I'll call it editing the scene.
Okay.
Yeah. So you kind of huck a loogie of radioactive
Pretty
plasma?
much.
Okay.
It's not cute.
What is the DC for that?
We're looking for 25 here.
Okay. Are you trying to get more of the individual shadow creatures or this weird humanoid one? Or the not Dr. Armstrong one?
I'm trying to basically get over his head and just destroy the ones behind him.
Okay. What's the DC?
25.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of turn them into weird radio TV static glass, melted glass on the ground. And there's that horrible screaming that the other one leads the charge on.
That was actually awesome.
Thank you.
All right, roll for initiative again.
That works.
Do you mind if I-
Jesus.
Go for it. Keep that.
Thank you. Okay. Steven, what'd you get?
I got a 13.
Okay. Jody?
14.
Nice. Jennifer?
27.
Eric?
14.
Okay. And what did I get?
I got a rock.
I did get a rock. I don't know where the... Okay. I got a 16. Cool. So, Jennifer, you go first.
I'm going to go in and I am going to spend 2 degrees. I can use the time freeze for 2 degrees of cumulative affliction.
Oh, okay. So basically that means if I fail my resistance check by that number of degrees, I get
I'm sorry.
that
Okay.
status. No, that's fine. This is the first time you're dealing with it.
Yeah, so I'm going to close in with it and I will zap it with a time freeze.
Okay, cool. Let me just get that up really quickly. Okay, so I have to resist that with will.
Yes, DC 18.
And this is for the not Dr. Armstrong one?
This is for the not Dr. Armstrong, which is the only one left, right?
Yes, okay. So I got 1 degree of failure, which means I am dazed.
Yes.
And that means that on my turn I can only take a single standard action.
Okay.
So there we go.
And then I will hide.
Cool. It's my turn. So he is going to just try and smack you really quickly. But you're too fast. So instead he's going to lurch forward, just kind of towards the group. And still saying, "Help me! Help me!" There we go. Eric, Jody, who has the higher agility?
Probably you.
I have 3.
I have 3. We're tied.
I have something I could try, though.
Yeah, go for it.
I would like to see if I can fascinate it.
Okay.
Ooh.
Would that be using persuasion? It's an interaction? Okay.
Yeah.
Please tell us what you're trying to do here. And that is a 21.
Okay. So do you tell us what you're doing here?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should be entranced, I guess.
Yeah, so he comes close to you and he kind of it shakes off the form of Dr. Armstrong and actually takes the shape of you just for a minute.
I don't look like that.
And says, "I don't look like that either. We just want out.
Did someone put you here?
Called us.
Someone summoned you?
Called us.
Do you know who?
No.
When they were broken, did that send them back?
No. No more.
No more what?
No more." And points to the ground.
Where all them are dead. Are you trying to hurt anyone?
Get out.
Even if that hurts people?
Looks at you like it doesn't understand.
just like gesture to us and then like that.
And it nods.
I don't know. I feel like I'm getting really mixed signals here, guys. Like
Can I, as a free action, call something out?
Yeah.
I'm gonna call to you. Take a selfie.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to swing around and take a selfie with it, I guess.
What's your angle?
Scan it.
Oh, okay. I like that.
At least get it working.
And I use the flash just because we're in a tunnel.
Sure.
I don't know if that does if it has any reaction to a flash
selfie
of
ring
light.
Yeah.
To thy own selfie be true.
Yeah, so you take a selfie with it, and it kind of disrupts it for a moment, and it changes back into this weird mishmash of features and stuff like that, and it starts kind of lurching towards you. So Eric, it's your turn.
All right. So in this tunnel, is the debris situation here?
Well, there's more train tracks.
Okay.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of junk.
Okay. Chuck wants to take a piece of train track and kind of like horseshoe it around it, like to just tie around this thing.
Okay, so that's going to be close combat.
Yeah.
Versus my parry, which means you have to beat a 10. You could do what is called a routine check, in that basically you just add whatever your modifier is to a 10, or you can roll to see if you get like an extra special success. What would you prefer to do?
I'll roll.
Okay. I mean, you could do great.
Yeah. Dude.
Do you have any
Plus,
rolls?
I do. This die is not there. That's much better. So with my strength, that's a 26.
Okay. And do you have a DC for your unarmed attack?
Unarmed is 27.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try.
We're not paying you enough.
What was it?
27?
God damn it. All right, so that's 1 degree of failure, which means that I currently have a -1 circumstance penalty to further resistance checks against damage. Somebody took damage!
And you're still dazed, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And entranced, is that still going on, or does that wear off after I did the...
That wears off after
Okay.
you did that, yeah. Okay, Steven.
Yeah, you got it, like, horseshoed, right?
Yeah, I just like...
I'm gonna go for a chokehold.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are doing close combat
Yep.
against my parry. So you just have to do better than a 10.
I literally rolled with a 16.
Great.
Oh.
So yeah, you what's the DC for that?
We're looking at a 27 here, Bob.
Okay.
I got a 19, and I have improved crit on this, so...
That's awesome.
So
I didn't try to build it like this, I promise you. It was just for character. I'm not a munchkin, usually.
So you are able to render it inert, basically. Somehow you squeeze this thing so much that it just kind of becomes this glass approximation of a humanoid figure, and it
I don't
drops to
break
the
eye
ground.
contact either.
Okay.
You John Wick it. Just
Oh, I am John Wicking the fuck out of this thing right now. I am mean mugging it. I am just staring into its non-life eyes.
Yeah, it's very creepy to look at. But yeah, you render it inert, and it's just like a human-sized mirror, basically.
Show me my real face.
Is it... Oh.
What?
Show me my real face.
I don't understand what you mean.
King Z
Oh yeah.
does not consider himself a human.
Oh, okay.
So he's like
So yeah,
ordering this thing.
before it kind of passes out. For lack
It
of a
stole
better-
his face earlier.
Yeah, you see yourself reflected as this giant monster with a big metallic gronk. And then, yeah, it collapses to the ground. It's still kind of two-dimensional. Like the stained glass knight in young Sherlock Holmes, which was featured in another game that Stephen and Eric and I played.
Garniga Neal, available on YouTube.
And Dr. Armstrong rushes over and puts his hand on your shoulder. You did an excellent job. Why don't we quit while we're ahead and get this thing the hell out of here?
Is it in a liquid form? Is it in a solid?
No, it's solid.
Doc, you think you can take a look at this, see if you can figure anything out about it?
I don't feel comfortable having it here, but I feel like between the four of us, we can get it back to my lab pretty safely. What do you say?
I just like lift off the ground and it does too.
Cool.
So I can fly it
Oh,
out.
good, because I probably would have shattered it on accident.
And far in the distance, you can see the shadows getting a little more active. So I'm guessing you book it back through the door.
Let's seal this one up this time, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to have you make a team check for this.
Team check.
Anybody who wants to help in your various ways to get this door back, whether it's with radioactive fire or power of time or whatever. But we're going to base it on Eric's strength check. I need you to give me just a strength roll, and I need you to get higher than a 30, actually. So anybody who wants to do any check against difficulty 10, so if you want to do your move object or whatever you want to do, it will add some success to him.
I only got an 8, so I think I'm
Okay.
too busy carrying the
All right.
our.
We're looking at dirty 20.
Okay.
And
I'm just using brute strength.
I probably don't need it for this right now, but the way PowerPoints work, if I'm assuming correctly, I have a pool of them, and then if I use one of these abilities, it subtracts from them.
No. The PowerPoints are what you use to build the character.
Oh, okay.
So anything there is fixed, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So okay. So is then my super strength on top of my regular strength would make
No, your
that's
super
in-
strength is already
in-
factored
okay,
in.
good.
Yeah.
okay. All right. So we'll let's see. That's 19.
Okay.
I'll help speed it up.
Okay.
It's 14, and I get my.
Okay.
Am I adding
No. You,
to it or?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
Okay, so you didn't quite get as much as you needed, but you are able to sort of...
Can he reroll?
Oh, sure. Here. Reroll.
All right. Which one of these is going to do the job? That's going to be in a 19.
Okay. So everyone working together except for you...
I'm keeping the thing.
and Dr.
Okay.
Armstrong actually gets in on the action too, are able to get the door in a position where it's more shut. Like you bend down the part that you got earlier. And yeah, you've got this thing kind of hovering on currents of air, and you hear Sad Girl's really sweet song echoing through the metro station, and there's a bunch of cops and paramedics helping the people downstairs. And one of the cops says, "Hey, it's Dr. Armstrong!" And as soon as you come into the light with that weird mirror figure, everybody takes a very pronounced sudden gasp, and it's dead silent. Yeah, I think we should get that back to my lab quickly. So you're able to get it up the stairs, across the street, through the lobby, back up to the party, which is still going on.
Wave at Kinsey. Like,
Are you okay?
yeah, there's weird stuff.
I'm gonna go ahead and monitor the network to make sure no photos of that get out.
Okay. How are you doing that?
From that location, any photos that are being taken at that time as we were passing through, I'm gonna keep an eye on.
Okay.
But I know it didn't photograph well
Right.
previously, so I'll just kind of flag those to look at.
Okay.
So I have not posted that selfie anywhere because I was making a weird face.
No, that was not a selfie to post. That was
Yeah.
a selfie for us.
Yeah, I
And
was kinda
that's-
like-
that data should be processing.
Got it. How do you do this? Do you have...
So we haven't worked out the technicals of the biometrics.
Okay,
and
yeah.
what
Well,
data
let's
we
talk about
get.
that.
So, I think it's we've established that it gives basic life sign type data.
Mm-hmm.
I think it also gives genetic mutations. What else do you guys think would be interesting?
Well, I mean, we talked before the stream about it being kind of like Google Glass meets a Fitbit meets all of that. So I feel like there's a certain amount of data that's transmitted in terms of sensory input.
Okay.
So yeah, great. You do that. That's what you're doing.
Is this thing like part of you?
No, it's a network.
Okay.
But it is able to track those things. You know, it's the way that things can track on your skin if you have an elevated heart rate, your skin flushes kind of thing. Those very low grade things that can track your pulse through motion.
Okay.
That kind of stuff.
Love it.
I think.
So Zach runs up to you. Dad! And grabs you.
Pat.
You okay?
I'm fine.
I was worried about you.
Thank you. I'm glad you are safe. Thank you for not going into that. Which is his way of saying, thank you, I love you. Thank God you're safe.
Yeah. I'm picking up what you're laying down. So Dr. Armstrong takes off his bomber jacket. He's like, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry, but I'm going to have to break up this little soiree right now. I've got a very important little science project I need to work on right now. Mr. Beck, science boy, would you accompany me to the lab? And then, he taps on a keypad on the wall, and one of the panels of the wall slides, and you see this awesome lab behind it, and he spirits Kinsey way in there. Would you bring our guest in as well?
It makes that noise, too.
Anybody else want to follow, or?
I'm following.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you kidding?
And then if everyone else is going, I'm just...
Fair enough.
Okay.
I literally just kind of push you in.
And the door slides back, but not before you see a couple of the robotic Dr. Armstrongs take a position in front of the door, and a couple more ushering people out. And as the door is closing, you see Dr. Payaso kind of wave at you.
I wave back at him with the... Yeah.
He gets this thing on the operating table that's in the middle of the room, and he gets some very simple instruments out and starts taking measurements. This is tech unlike anything that you've seen. I don't show this to a lot of people, so today's your lucky day. And the lights of the lab are shining in all of the facets of this thing, and you see it kind of breathing in this really unnatural way, and you hear this like expansion of glass and this contraction. It does seem like it's kind of changing its features in fugue state. And after about 20 minutes or so, he's like, I'm stumped. I mean, who knows how long these things have been down there?
Wouldn't we have seen them if they'd been there that long?
Well, but I mean, that door was busted wide open. Who knows how long that's been like that?
I mean, it said they were called. But...
Check the records to see when the last time the trains were serviced there.
Okay. So he's got a computer terminal you can access there.
I'll head into the system and see what I can find.
Yeah. Roll me some science.
Fudge that when it moved. Science is a 20.
I should not skip dinner.
It's okay. You hack into the Metro records, and the trains have been serviced fairly recently. They did kind of push back into the service area there, which was where you were. And then a few days ago, there was notifications about some disturbance, some weird power issues that had been going on. There was some massive delays. You find some Twitter reports of people tweeting about the delay on the Metro platform, blah, blah, blah. And then closer you get to the present moment, you're getting people saying like, oh my God, there's monsters in downtown Los Angeles, so on and so forth. And in your search, one of the algorithms that you programmed in brings up a very old news article from the Los Angeles Times from the mid-40s about the subway terminal building. and how there were reports of ghosts haunting the rail cars. But it doesn't go into a lot of detail, and it doesn't seem like that it was widely reported in other news sources.
Doc, remember anything in the 40s? You would have been pretty young, but...
Well, I mean, yeah, I would have been 9, 10 years old.
Live here your whole life?
Well, yeah, but I didn't live
Do you remember ghost stories?
I'm a man of science. I don't believe in ghosts.
Yeah, but 9 or 10. It's a little different, right?
Touché. I mean, sure, I remember a lot of ghost stories. There was a lady in white that used to hang out on my back porch.
How about the railways? On the trains?
Well, you know, I do remember a story about the, was it the streetcars? I'm sorry, it's been so long.
Yeah, and I tell him which lines it was mentioned in.
I mean, I don't know if I've ever heard that story, but that's fascinating. Do you think that there's some correlation between the two events?
Correlation is not causation, we both know that, but it's possible.
Touché. I'm gonna stay here and look into our guest, but maybe that's a lead you could follow up on. Let me know what you find. I'm in your debt for helping me with the people in the train station.
Do you have any memories of that? Anything that could help steer us?
God, I'd have to... There was an article you said?
Yeah, I'll bookmark it for you.
Okay, thank you. So he goes back to working on the critter and everything. There's the author of the article is Stan Winslow. It's not a name you recognize, but the more research you do, you see that he was a reporter for the Los Angeles Times in the 40s and 50s. Crime mostly. A lot of court reporting, but he also had a habit for reporting on very, very strange things that would happen. Now, you know, metahumans have been active in the world since, I don't know, let's say the 30s, just as an arbitrary starting point. But he had a habit of sticking his nose into spooky business.
Are there any obituaries for Stan Winslow?
No, there
Is he
aren't.
still writing for the Times?
He's not.
Who's the current crime and or court reporter for the Times?
Her name is Janie Smith.
Okay. Is she on the network?
Yes, she is.
I'm gonna shoot her a message.
Okay. What's your message say?
I
What's your email address? I gotta know.
gotta think about that.
Yeah, think about that.
Yeah.
nick@biz.com.
I think it would just be like at Icarus.
Yeah. Admin at Icarus.
Oh.
Wings at Icarus.
Wings.
Oh. Actually, no. She would say Daedalus at Icarus.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So that's what it's gonna be. No, it might just be DED at Icarus.com.
Love it.
That's what it's gonna be.
Love it.
Done.
Did.
All right, so what is your message
Don't
to
actually
Janie
try
say?
to email that anybody
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm sure somebody has it. And if they don't, they should. My email is going to say... Have a potential lead? Would love to chat. Let me know if you're interested.
Okay. So where are you guys regrouping, by the way? Or are you just hanging
the
out
office?
at Dr. Armstrong's place?
Snacks at the office.
Are you going to... Where is Icarus headquarters located?
K-Town, but it's been there forever.
Okay.
It's not, we didn't move there when everything was new and shiny. This is pre-hipster hipster.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm just saying, a lot of the office parks in Santa Monica, I know it's a drive. They're like,
Silicon
You're not going to
Beach,
sit in
man.
traffic for 2 hours every day. It's not going to happen.
No one goes to the west side unless you're already in the west side, and then you just never leave the west side.
some
It
of
is
us,
true. I do prefer not to.
some
live
of us
by
drive
west
back and
side.
forth 5 days a week.
For all of you non-Angelinos, if you need any of these references explained, I'm more than happy to do it.
Oh, I can do that right now. Traffic sucks.
Yeah, welcome to Los Angeles. See, I personally picture it as being across the street or nearby where the Ambassador Hotel used to be. That's that high school now.
Ooh, yeah.
There, it's canon.
Where's that?
It's on Wilshire.
Okay.
Yeah. Also down the street from where the Brown Derby used to be, for you old Hollywood types. Great. What is the Icarus building like on the inside?
It is... There are clearly designers and things involved. Someone had a hand in making this look really, really nice. And it clearly wasn't me because I just don't care.
There are no offices. It's just open desks. There are meeting rooms.
Right.
Then
But they're glass.
It's-
yeah, they're
doing
glass,
that, though-
but they've frosted like just where like you would see any like where the table and the heads. You know.
Yeah.
Ugh.
There is like a nice like recording / streaming space though where we do. That's
Yeah.
where I usually am working. Oh, and I had Kinsey come because I was like nervous
yeah.
about him staying in that lab with that.
My office...
Come, no, it's
But-
there'll be other stuff. If we find another one, we'll need you to look at it, right?
Okay.
My office literally has the glass walls, covered up with cardboard.
Love it. Do you have an assistant or
And posters.
anything?
I'm sure I do.
Okay. It's okay if you don't remember their name.
What
Yeah.
posters?
Cult horror movies.
Nice.
Cool.
I was about to say The Crow.
Yeah. In that vein.
So yeah, you get back to the office. There's a fully stocked kitchen.
Yeah. We just swapped some of the snacks. We have biscotti now, so if anyone's interested.
What is a biscotti?
It's great. You dip it in coffee.
Dip it in coffee first, otherwise it breaks your teeth.
We just got biscotti at our
can I
office
get?
at work. So.
You may have a biscotti.
Oh, thanks.
I get a non-coconut LaCroix, like probably Pamplemousse.
We don't have coconut LaCroix.
Yeah.
anymore.
that's
We have,
it's-
the, touch,
it's-
we have the
There's a
touchscreen
moratorium.
soda machines.
It's definitely.
Ah,
Pamplemousse.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna get a cherry Fanta.
Look, it makes me the biggest redneck, but
Which,
those
who,
things
was that
bring me
Kinsey or
such
was that,
joy.
his kid?
Our work
That
has
was
them.
Kinsey.
Okay.
I'm gonna get a cherry Fanta. Do you want anything, babe?
I'll just get a Pamplemousse.
Okay, cool. Cherry Fanta. Okay, cool. So we go in your office, and there is an email waiting for you from Jenny Smith.
Okay.
It's just a phone number that says "call me."
And I do. I put her on speaker.
This is Smith.
It's Nick Minos at Icarus.
No, really. Who's this?
This is Nick Minos at Icarus.
You found the article, right? The ghost in the subway.
Maybe I don't have a lead for you.
No, but I might have a lead for you. I've been watching the news. Saw what happened at Metro Station. I'm guessing you had a hand in that?
Could be. Yeah.
Alright. Professional secret, I understand. Winslow, he's old, but he's not dead. He might be able to answer some questions for you, but I gotta warn you, he's not all there.
Where is he?
There's an assisted living facility in Riverside. It's been a couple years, but I think his daughter, the last time I spoke with her, said that he's still there. They don't get on too well, but she pays the bills, keeps him there,
What
keeps
was her
him
name?
safe. Miranda.
She out here?
No, she's back east.
Do you have a phone number?
I'd have to look it up. It's been a while.
If you find one, would you shoot it over to me?
Yeah. Since I might not get a chance to talk to you again, you need a writer. If you're hiring, I'll shoot you my LinkedIn page.
Did you really just offer me a LinkedIn page?
I'll see if I can find that phone number for you.
Upgrade your resume. We'll see what we can do.
Thanks, dead@Icarus.com.
Is LinkedIn not good? Did I miss something?
She's just snooty and effete. So you've got a lead on Stan Winslow.
Okay.
And the ghosts in the subway. And I think that's where we're going to end it for tonight.
Sweet.
Really?
I just, if I can interject one thing, I could fly us all there.
Yeah.
That would be so expensive. I mean, it's
No,
just a
I-
Riverside.
I
No,
can
no.
carry 4 people.
Oh, okay.
So,
Nope.
no?
No. Please no.
Okay, company van, I guess.
Yes.
It's
Vans
so
are on the ground,
slow.
right?
I know.
Well, you can figure out how to get there next
I'm
time.
flying, aren't I?
So that is the first episode of Mutants and Masterminds, Shadow of the Mirror Men.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's so good.
What's going to happen
That was
next
so fun.
week? I don't know. I mean,
Looks
I
like
do
we're going to
know.
Riverside.
I
Well,
totally knew.
I hope you know, because
Yes, no,
someone's
I do
gotta
know.
run
I
the
do know.
game.
Yes.
Seriously.
But yeah, okay. Thank you all for watching. Dom, sorry, it's Monday. Very tired. Mush mouth. Dom, thank you so much for monitoring the chat. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna let you all go around the table. Pitch anything you want to pitch. Blah blah blah. Jennifer.
I am Jen Kretchmer. I am DreamWisp on Twitter and Instagram. I have some stuff coming up, but I can't announce it yet.
Well,
so
hopefully next week you can.
it's soon, and hopefully next week I can talk about it.
All right.
But follow me on those things if you want to stay up to date on the things that I can't talk about yet.
If
Because
there
hopefully
were
I'll be able to talk about them
Any
soon.
justice in this world, Jen Kretchmer would be running Hollywood.
Working on it.
Hi, Stephen Pope. You can find me online at Stephen J. Pope 22, literally everywhere. And if you like me for any reason, 1, please tell me why. I'm horribly insecure. And 2, check me out on Uncanny Valley Cancer Cell, Saving Throws premier actual play podcast. It's great, it's fun, it's spooky.
Jody Houser, Jody_Houser on Twitter, just had a new Star Wars comic announced, TIE Fighter, coming out in a few months, and it was just announced today. I'm one of the writers on Star Trek Year 5, which is going to be telling new OG Trek series, and that's being showrun by Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly, who've played games here as well.
Fantastic.
So that will be, I think the first issue also launches in April with a cover, with a Hildebrand cover.
Wow.
Oh,
All
So
right.
I'm kind of jealous I'm not writing that issue, but our showrunners get to write that.
It's okay. Print the legend. I'm going to pretend you wrote that one. Eric.
Hi, I'm Eric. You can find me on Mostly Shit on Instagram and Twitter, or Mostly Eric on Twitch, where I stream most days when I'm not here. And here you can find me Wednesday on the Iron Keep Chronicles. Here 8 p.m. Wednesday nights playing Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition.
Love it. I'm Michael Holmes, Michael R. Holmes on Instagram. Next week will be a full 3 hours when I've had a full night of sleep. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got some other great shows coming up on Saving Throw later this week. Tomorrow we've got Valor and Villainy at 2 p.m., which is a Kickstarted game. You're in
I'm
that,
gonna
right?
be on that.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us anything about it?
I don't know a whole lot about it.
Great, we didn't
I'm
know
really
anything
excited
about
though.
it, but tune in at 2 p.m. Pacific tomorrow to find out. And then tomorrow night we've
Sorry,
got
Dom.
Starfinder on the official Paizo channel. Wednesday at 8 p.m. we do have the Iron Keep Chronicles with Mr. Reichert right here, hosted by Tom Lummel. And then on Friday at 8 p.m. we've got Wildcards East Texas University. So tune in. We got a lot of great programming this week. Thank you, Dom, for keeping the lights on. And we will see you all next time. Bye.
See you next week.